Faith is the quiet force that fuels every step into the unknown. It is believing in what cannot yet be seen, but is deeply felt within. Many of history's greatest leaders, thinkers, and builders did not begin with certainty. They began with faith. Les Brown often said, "You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great." Faith is what gives us the courage to start. Without it, the mountains of life appear immovable. With it, even the tallest challenges shrink into opportunities for growth. Faith-driven motivation teaches us that setbacks are not final. When a door closes, it's not a punishment, it's guidance. Faith allows us to see the closed door not as the end of the road, but as a redirection towards something better. In your own journey, faith becomes your anchor in stormy seas. When others doubt you, when even you doubt yourself, faith whispers, "There is more within you. Keep going." Purpose gives you the map, but faith fuels the steps you must take. Every great story begins with belief. Belief that tomorrow can be brighter. Belief that the struggle has meaning. Belief that your life carries weight. If you are standing at the edge of uncertainty, faith is your invitation to leap. Purpose is the reason behind the work, the deeper why that turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. Without purpose, we wander. With it, every step gains direction. Eric Thomas, often called the hip-hop preacher, reminds us, when you know your why, you can endure anyhow. Purpose-driven motivation teaches us that setbacks are not final. When a door closes, it's not a punishment, it's guidance. Purpose transforms pain into fuel. The long nights, the struggles, the sacrifices, they all become worthwhile when anchored to something meaningful. Ask yourself, what sets my soul on fire? What injustice breaks my heart? What dream won't let me sleep? These questions point you to your purpose. Once you discover it, life shifts. No longer are you drifting, you are guided. Fear is natural, but faith is powerful. Every dream worth pursuing will intimidate you. Fear says, "What if you fail?" Faith counters, "What if you fly?" Zig Ziglar taught that fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. Which will you choose? Faith does not erase fear, but it silences its control. It gives you the courage to stand in the fire and believe that something greater is forming. Without faith, fear paralyzes. With faith, fear becomes a stepping stone. Think of a time you were afraid to try. Maybe it was speaking in front of others, applying for a position, or sharing your art. What if, instead of retreating, you had leaned on faith? Every story of greatness begins with someone trembling, yet moving forward. Faith-driven motivation invites you to reframe fear. Instead of asking, "What will people think?" ask, "What will my life mean if I don't try?" Faith shifts the focus from temporary risk to eternal impact. Vision is faith in pictures. It is the mental image of what could be, painted so clearly in your heart that you begin to live as though it already exists. Dr. Miles Monroe said, "The greatest tragedy in life is not death, but life without a purpose." Vision ensures we don't waste our days in circles. It directs our energy. Faith without vision is blind, but vision without faith is powerless. Together, They ignite a fire that no obstacle can extinguish. Vision allows you to see beyond your current circumstances. If today is filled with struggle, vision paints the possibility of tomorrow's victory. Create a vision board. Write down your dreams. Speak them out loud. Don't keep them locked in your head. Bring them into your daily environment. The more you remind yourself of your vision, the more faith grows to meet it. When storms come, vision says, "This is temporary. My future is still intact." Faith and purpose-driven living are impossible without vision. Begin to see, and soon you will begin to believe. Resilience is not never falling. It is rising every time you fall. Faith makes resilience possible because it assures us that each fall has meaning, each stumble a lesson. Nelson Mandela once said, "Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell and got back up again." That is resilience. Faith-driven resilience sees hardship not as punishment, but as preparation. Purpose-driven resilience keeps you standing because you know your fight is bigger than you. You're not just surviving, you're representing those who believe in you, those who will come after you, those who need your light. Every setback can become a setup for a comeback if faith and purpose guide your response. When others quit, resilience pushes you forward. When pain tempts you to surrender, purpose whispers, "Keep going." Someone's breakthrough depends on your persistence. The storms will come, but resilience, powered by faith, ensures you are not swept away. Instead, you emerge stronger, wiser, and more determined. Discipline is often seen as a burden, but when it is tied to purpose, it becomes freedom. Purpose gives you a reason to wake up early, to study when others sleep, to persist when quitting seems easier. Without purpose, discipline feels like punishment. With purpose, discipline feels like devotion. Jim Rohn once said, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. That bridge is only crossed when you know where it leads. Your purpose is the destination. Discipline is the road." Think about athletes who train daily, or writers who show up to the page each morning. They don't always feel motivated. What keeps them going is purpose. Motivation gets you started, but discipline, anchored in purpose, keeps you moving. When you feel resistance, ask yourself, "Why did I begin?" Reconnect to your purpose. The moment you remember the why, the how becomes bearable. We live in a world obsessed with instant results, but faith teaches us that growth takes time. Seeds do not sprout overnight. Faith-driven motivation reminds us that every day of effort is an investment in the unseen harvest. Eric Thomas often emphasizes grind and patience. He says, "When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful." But he also reminds us that success doesn't come overnight. Faith in the process means you keep working when results are invisible. You trust that the late nights, the sacrifices, and the consistent effort will pay off. Purpose ensures you're planting in the right soil, while faith assures you the harvest will come in season. Don't abandon the field because it looks empty. Keep watering, keep working, keep believing. The process shapes you for the promise. Passion fuels perseverance. It is the fire that burns within, making the journey worthwhile even in hardship. Purpose defines the direction, but passion provides the energy. Tony Robbins teaches that energy flows where attention goes. When you are passionate about something, you naturally give it focus, and that focus creates momentum. Faith-driven passion is more than fleeting excitement. It is rooted in conviction, anchored by the belief that what you're doing matters. Passion makes the grind meaningful and keeps your heart alive through challenges. Ask yourself, what work makes me lose track of time? What tasks bring me alive? The answers point to passion. Combine that with faith and purpose, and you create an unstoppable force. Failure is not the end. Every time you fall, you are given an invitation to arise anew. Faith assures you that endings can become beginnings. Les Brown said, "When life knocks you down, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. That is the courage to begin again." Purpose-driven motivation refuses to let setbacks define you. Instead, it reframes failure as feedback, an opportunity to rebuild smarter and stronger. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is choosing to act despite fear. If you've lost a dream, dare to dream again. If you've failed once, try once more. Each fresh start is not weakness, it is strength. Faith gives you the courage to say, "This is not where my story ends." Hope is the thread that connects faith to tomorrow. Without hope, faith fades. Hope whispers things can get better. It keeps us from giving in to despair. Martin Luther King Jr. famously said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." Life will hand us disappointments, but hope assures us that none of them are final. Faith sustains hope, and purpose gives it meaning. When you hope with purpose, your dreams are not vague wishes, but rooted expectations. Hope anchors the soul, keeping you steady when storms rage. Guard your hope, protect it from cynicism, from negative voices, from the temptation to give up. Nurture it with affirmations, with community, with daily reminders of your vision. Hope is oxygen to the soul. Never let it run out.
Purpose begins with your why. Simon Sinek popularized this phrase, but the truth is ancient. Knowing your why gives meaning to your what. Faith-driven motivation insists that you are not here by accident. Your existence carries design, and within that design lies your why. Ask yourself, what problem am I here to solve? Who am I meant to serve? Your why doesn't have to be grand at first. It could be providing for your family, inspiring your community, or creating art that heals. Whatever it is, it becomes your compass. Without a why, life feels empty. With it, even mundane days shine with significance. Don't chase someone else's purpose. Find your own. Your why is the foundation of purpose-driven living. Purpose is rarely about self-indulgence. It is about service. Zig Ziglar said, "You will get all you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want." Faith-driven living recognizes that our gifts are not for us alone. They are entrusted to us for the benefit of others. Service turns talent into legacy. When you live for service, struggles gain meaning. Sacrifices are no longer wasted. They become investments in others' lives. And in serving, we often discover the deepest fulfillment ourselves. Look for opportunities to serve. Whether in big ways or small, each act of service aligns you with purpose. Purpose-driven motivation is not self-seeking, it is world-changing. Living with purpose means aligning actions with values. Too often, people say they want one thing, but live in ways that contradict it. Alignment is integrity in action. Jim Rohn stressed the importance of consistency. He said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." Alignment means those daily disciplines reflect the values you claim to hold. Faith empowers alignment because it grounds you in truth. Purpose clarifies your path so you can measure each decision. When you walk in alignment, your life becomes a testimony. What you believe and what you do are one. Examine your life. Does your schedule match your priorities? Do your habits reflect your values? Purpose-driven alignment eliminates confusion and produces clarity. Challenges are inevitable, but faith makes them surmountable. Faith-driven motivation transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Jesus once said, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move,' and it will move." Mountains symbolize the impossible, but faith makes the impossible possible. When you face your own mountains, financial struggles, health battles, broken relationships, faith enables you to act boldly. Purpose tells you the mountain must move because your mission requires it. Faith doesn't always remove the mountain instantly, but it gives you strength to climb, wisdom to navigate, or patience to endure until it crumbles. With faith, no mountain is final. Gratitude is more than polite thanks. It is a mindset that fuels motivation. Gratitude shifts focus from what is missing to what is present, from lack to abundance. Oprah Winfrey has often said, "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough." Gratitude multiplies blessings. Faith-driven gratitude acknowledges that even struggles contain gifts. Purpose-driven gratitude sees every step as part of the journey. When you are grateful, discouragement loses its grip and motivation grows. Start each day with gratitude. Write down 3 things you're thankful for. Speak them aloud. Gratitude awakens faith, strengthens purpose, and reminds you that you already have the tools to succeed. Pain is a universal experience, but what separates achievers from quitters is the willingness to persist beyond the discomfort. Faith teaches that pain has purpose, and purpose reminds us that pain is temporary. Eric Thomas often says, "When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you'll be successful." That kind of hunger pushes you to keep going when your body and mind scream to stop. Persistence doesn't mean ignoring pain, it means reframing it.
Every ache becomes evidence of growth. Every setback becomes a lesson. With faith, you see pain not as punishment, but as preparation. Ask yourself, what am I willing to endure for my purpose? The answer reveals your level of commitment. Pain cannot stop a heart that has already decided to persist.
In a world of instant gratification, patience has become rare. Yet faith-driven purpose demands patience. Dreams take time to mature. Seeds take time to grow. You cannot microwave destiny. Joyce Meyer once said, "Patience is not simply the ability to wait, it's how we behave while we're waiting." True patience is active. It means working diligently while trusting the timing. Patience prevents discouragement. It keeps you steady when progress is invisible. Faith assures you that delay is not denial, and purpose tells you that the wait is shaping you for what you've asked for. When frustration rises, remind yourself, every season serves a role. Winter prepares the soil. Spring brings the bloom. Summer strengthens the roots, and autumn reveals the harvest. Trust the timing. Confidence is not arrogance, it is assurance rooted in faith. When you know you are called to something, you carry a quiet boldness. Steve Harvey often shares his story of stepping into comedy despite fear. He said, "Your career is what you're paid for. Your calling is what you're made for." Confidence grows when you know you're operating in your calling. Purpose eliminates doubt. You may not have all the skills yet, but you know you're on the right path. Faith reminds you that you don't have to see the full staircase to take the first step. Confidence comes from alignment, doing what you were born to do. Step boldly, even if you tremble. Each step strengthens your confidence in your calling. Failure is a brutal teacher, but it teaches lessons success never can. Faith-driven people view failure as fuel, not finality. Thomas Edison, after countless failed attempts at creating the light bulb, said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset transforms setbacks into stepping stones. Purpose redefines failure as feedback. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Faith assures you that nothing is wasted, not even mistakes. When failure arrives, use it as fuel. Analyze, adjust, and advance. The only true failure is refusing to try again. Consistency beats intensity. Faith-driven motivation understands that greatness is built daily, not in occasional bursts. Denzel Washington has said, "Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish." Success belongs to the consistent, not the sporadic. Purpose fuels consistency by reminding you that each day's effort matters. Faith assures you that progress compounds over time. Even when results seem small, consistency builds momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. Choose a few simple disciplines and repeat them daily. Show up for your dream even when feelings fade. Consistency transforms ordinary habits into extraordinary outcomes.
Faith and purpose require difficult conversations with others and with yourself. These moments test your courage. Brené Brown teaches that courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. Honest conversations may be uncomfortable, but they are necessary for growth. Whether it's confronting fear, addressing conflict, or admitting weakness, courageous conversations free you from stagnation. Faith gives you the strength to speak, and purpose clarifies what must be said. Don't avoid the hard talks. They are often the doorway to healing, progress, and clarity. Integrity is doing what is right even when no one is watching. Faith-driven motivation insists that your character matters more than applause. Warren Buffett said, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it." Purpose-driven people protect their integrity because they know their legacy depends on it. Faith anchors you to timeless principles. Purpose ensures you never trade long-term impact for short-term gain. Success without integrity is failure in disguise. Live so that your words and actions match. Integrity builds trust, and trust multiplies influence. Comparison is the thief of joy. Faith reminds you that your path is unique. Purpose-driven living frees you from competing with others. Theodore Roosevelt said it best, "Comparison is the thief of joy." When you measure your progress against someone else's, you lose sight of your calling. Faith says, "You are fearfully and wonderfully made." Purpose says, "Your lane is yours alone." Stay focused on your own growth. The only person you should compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. Celebrate others without resenting them. Their success doesn't diminish yours. Stay anchored in your journey. Life often feels chaotic. World crises, personal storms, unexpected losses. But faith gives peace in the middle of turmoil. Jesus reminded his followers, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives." Faith-driven peace transcends chaos. Purpose doesn't eliminate storms, but it gives them context. You know why you're enduring, and you trust that chaos cannot derail your destiny. Anchor yourself in faith during chaos. Breathe, pray, focus, and move forward one step at a time. Chaos is loud, but faith is steady. Excellence is not perfection. It is giving your best consistently. Faith and purpose demand excellence because they see work as sacred. Colossians 3:23 says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord." Excellence is worship in action. Purpose drives excellence because you know your work impacts lives. Faith fuels excellence because you trust that small acts matter. Excellence becomes a habit when you refuse mediocrity in any area of life. Excellence attracts opportunities, builds trust, and magnifies impact. Commit to it, not for applause, but because it honors your faith and your calling.
Every day is a chance to reset, refocus, and realign with your purpose. Yesterday's mistakes do not have to dictate today's progress.
Faith gives you grace for renewal. Purpose gives you a reason to begin again. Joel Osteen once said, "You may have made mistakes, but you are not a mistake." Renewal means refusing to stay stuck in regret. Each sunrise is a reminder that life continues, and so must you. Purpose-driven renewal begins with reflection. Ask yourself each morning, what matters most today? What small step can I take toward my purpose? Renewal is not dramatic, it's daily. Faith ensures that even small beginnings matter. Renewal is the discipline of giving yourself permission to keep moving forward. While individual effort is vital, faith-driven motivation reminds us that we are stronger together. Community provides accountability, encouragement, and wisdom. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 says, "Two are better than one. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up." Purpose-driven people understand that isolation weakens motivation, but community strengthens it. Surround yourself with people who share your values and fuel your purpose. Let others lift you when you stumble, and be willing to do the same for them. Faith reminds us that we are part of a bigger body. Community resilience ensures we rise together, stronger than we could alone. Words shape reality. Faith-driven people use affirmations to align their minds with their purpose. Speaking truth repeatedly plants seeds in the soul. Muhammad Ali famously declared, "I am the greatest." He said it long before the world believed it, but his words shaped his identity. Affirmations are not wishful thinking, they are faith in action. When you declare, "I am capable, I am resilient, I am called," you strengthen your belief and direct your focus. Purpose-driven affirmation reminds you daily who you are becoming. Don't let negative self-talk control your mind. Speak life into yourself until your reality matches your declaration. Faith-driven motivation not only prepares you for struggle, but also guides you in success. Purpose ensures you handle victories with humility. C.S. Lewis said, "Humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less." True success is not measured by applause, but by impact. Faith reminds you that every gift is entrusted, not earned alone. Purpose ensures your success serves others, not just your ego. Humility keeps you grounded, protecting you from arrogance and reminding you of your calling. Celebrate success, but remember, the goal is not to be celebrated, but to be impactful. Every meaningful pursuit requires sacrifice. Faith gives you the courage to let go of comfort. Purpose makes the sacrifice worthwhile. Martin Luther King Jr. sacrificed comfort for justice. Nelson Mandela sacrificed freedom for equality. Their faith and purpose turned sacrifice into legacy. What are you willing to give up for your calling? Time, comfort, popularity? Sacrifice is not loss, it is investment. When you surrender lesser things for greater impact, you multiply your influence. Faith sustains you when sacrifice feels heavy. Purpose reminds you of what's at stake. Greatness always costs something, but the reward outweighs the price. Deep within, you carry an inner voice, your conscience, your intuition, your faith speaking.
Purpose-driven people learn to quiet the noise of the world to hear it. Wayne Dyer said, "Don't die with your music still in you. Your inner voice is that music, whispers of the life you were created to live." Faith-driven motivation helps you discern that voice from fear or doubt. Purpose gives it clarity. When you ignore it, you feel restless. When you follow it, peace floods your soul. Take time for silence. Journal, pray, reflect. The inner voice is not loud, but it is steady. Listen, and it will guide your steps. Your faith is not only for you, it is a torch for others. When people see you stand firm through trials, they gain courage for their own battles. Hebrews 11 celebrates heroes of faith who inspired generations. Their stories remind us that faith echoes beyond a lifetime. Purpose-driven faith doesn't boast, it shines. It says, "If I can rise, so can you." Your testimony becomes someone else's motivation. Live your faith out loud, not in arrogance, but in authenticity. You never know who needs the encouragement your life silently offers.
Purpose-driven people often burn out because they confuse busyness with effectiveness. Faith-driven living requires balance. Stephen Covey taught the importance of sharpening the saw, renewing yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Without balance, even noble pursuits can destroy you. Faith reminds you that rest is sacred. Purpose guides your priorities so you don't scatter energy. Balance doesn't mean doing everything equally. It means giving time to what truly matters. Guard your health, relationships, and spirit. Balance ensures your purpose is sustainable, not fleeting.
Doubt visits everyone. The question is not whether it comes, but how you respond. Faith-driven people use doubt as fuel for determination. Les Brown admitted he once doubted himself, but he turned that doubt into hunger to improve. He said, "Other people's opinion of you does not have to become your reality." Purpose transforms doubt into clarity. Each time you question yourself, return to your why. Faith reminds you that you're not walking alone. Let doubt push you, not paralyze you. Determination grows when you decide to keep moving despite uncertainty. In an age of distraction, focus has become a superpower. Faith-driven motivation sharpens focus by reminding you of the eternal over the temporary. Bruce Lee once said, "The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus." Purpose is the lens that concentrates your energy. Distraction is the enemy of destiny. Social media, comparison, endless opportunities, they all scatter focus. But when you align with purpose, you say no to what doesn't serve your mission. Faith sustains focus when the noise grows loud. Focus ensures your energy creates progress, not just motion. Discipline your attention, and you discipline your destiny. Perseverance is the art of refusing to quit. Faith fuels it, and purpose demands it. The journey of greatness is never a straight line. It is filled with valleys and mountains. Winston Churchill famously said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Perseverance is that courage. Faith-driven perseverance believes that the outcome will be worth the effort. Purpose-driven perseverance reminds you that quitting is not an option when lives may be impacted by your success. Keep showing up. Keep pressing forward. Perseverance transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Intention separates drifting from destiny. Faith and purpose-driven people don't simply react to life, they create it with intentional actions. John C. Maxwell often says, "Dreams don't work unless you do." But working aimlessly isn't enough. Your actions must align with intention. Every day, ask, does this decision bring me closer to my purpose? Intention transforms wasted hours into meaningful investments. Faith ensures your intentions are rooted in values. Purpose ensures they align with impact. Together, they lead to a life lived with clarity instead of regret. In a noisy world, listening has become rare, yet listening is a mark of wisdom and humility. Faith-driven people understand that God often speaks in whispers, and purpose-driven people know growth comes through learning from others. Stephen Covey said, "Most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply." True listening requires stillness and humility. Listen to mentors, listen to your inner voice, listen to those you lead. Listening expands perspective and strengthens relationships. Faith opens your ears to divine guidance. Purpose ensures you hear what matters most. Unforgiveness is a heavy burden. Faith teaches us to release it, and purpose shows us that bitterness distracts from destiny. Nelson Mandela, after 27 years in prison, said, "As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison." Forgiveness doesn't excuse wrong, it frees you. Faith-driven forgiveness says, "I trust justice to God." Purpose-driven forgiveness says, "My future is too important to carry this weight." Release bitterness. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Faith-driven people honor it as a gift. Purpose-driven people invest it wisely. Jim Rohn once said, "Either you run the day or the day runs you." How you spend your hours reveals what you truly value. Every wasted moment is a piece of destiny delayed. Faith reminds you that tomorrow isn't promised. Purpose pushes you to use today well. Guard your time. Fill it with what matters most. Time invested in faith and purpose never returns empty. There will be moments when your path is lonely. Faith gives you courage to stand when others walk away. Purpose makes the solitude worth it. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." Standing alone does not mean you are wrong, it may mean you are ahead. Faith gives you strength in solitude, and purpose gives you clarity in conviction. If you must stand alone, stand tall. Your faith and purpose will sustain you. Enthusiasm is contagious. It is energy fueled by faith and expressed through purpose. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm." Enthusiasm transforms ordinary tasks into extraordinary experiences.
Faith-driven enthusiasm is not fake hype. It's genuine joy rooted in belief. Purpose-driven enthusiasm attracts people, opportunities, and energy into your mission. Approach life with enthusiasm. It fuels resilience, strengthens relationships, and makes your journey inspiring to others.
Legacy is not what you leave behind, it's what you live daily. Faith-driven people live with eternity in mind, and purpose-driven people live with impact in mind. John Maxwell says, "People will summarize your life in one sentence. Pick it now." That sentence is your legacy. Legacy is built through consistent faith, daily service, and intentional living. It is not just about accomplishments, but about the lives you touch. Decide today the legacy you want to leave. Live in such a way that your faith and purpose echo long after you're gone. Self-control is the foundation of freedom. Without it, desires dictate decisions. Faith and purpose empower self-control by anchoring you to higher principles. The Bible says, like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. Without self-control, you are vulnerable to destruction. Faith gives strength to resist temptation. Purpose provides clarity to choose long-term gains over short-term pleasures. Practice self-control in habits, emotions, and words. Mastery of self is mastery of destiny. Fear of failure stops more people than failure itself. Faith replaces fear with courage, and purpose makes risks worthwhile. Zig Ziglar taught that failure is an event, not a person. Don't let fear of failing define your identity. Faith-driven people see failure as part of the journey. Purpose-driven people know the risk of not trying is greater than the risk of failing. Step forward boldly. Even if you stumble, you'll be further than those who never moved. Encouragement is a powerful gift you can give and receive. Faith drives us to uplift others, and purpose reminds us that no one rises alone. Mark Twain said, "I can live for 2 months on a good compliment." Encouragement fuels motivation and strengthens resilience. Be generous with encouragement, speak life into others, and surround yourself with people who remind you of your worth. Faith-driven encouragement reflects hope. Purpose-driven encouragement creates community. Together, they spark transformation. Every decision echoes beyond your lifetime. Faith-driven people live with eternity in mind, and purpose-driven people think generationally. Miles Monroe said, "The greatest tragedy in life is not death, but life without a purpose." Legacy is living with that purpose daily. Ask, what impact will this choice have beyond me? Legacy living ensures your influence multiplies long after you're gone. Live intentionally. Faith and purpose guarantee that your life story will not end with you. Contentment is not complacency. It is gratitude in the present while striving for the future. Paul the Apostle wrote, "I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances." Faith teaches us that peace is found not in possessions, but in perspective.
Purpose ensures contentment doesn't become stagnation. You are grateful for today, but still committed to tomorrow's growth. Contentment frees you from envy and competition. It allows you to enjoy the journey while pursuing the destination. Your story carries power. Faith-driven testimony inspires others, and purpose-driven testimony multiplies impact. Revelation 12:11 says, "They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony." Your experiences, both victories and struggles, can become someone else's survival guide. Don't hide your scars. Share them with humility. Your testimony proves that faith works and purpose sustains. Speak your story. Someone's breakthrough may depend on hearing it. The journey of faith and purpose is not about starting perfectly, but about finishing faithfully. Many begin with enthusiasm, few finish with endurance. Paul declared, "I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith." That is the ultimate goal, not perfection, but perseverance. Finishing strong means staying true to your values, purpose, and faith until the end. It means leaving behind more than possessions. You leave a legacy of inspiration, resilience, and courage. As you close this book and continue your journey, remember, faith is your anchor, purpose is your compass. Together, they will guide you through every storm, every valley, and every mountain until you finish strong.